Thanks, Chris. Tim, you've got the most amazingly exciting business. So I'm tempted to ask you, what do you look for in people that work for your organization?
Oh, what do I work for in the people that work for my organization, or what I look for the people who I invest in?
Well, I
both.
guess I'm interested in both of those things. So what do you look for?
Okay. In people for my organization, I'll tell you how we started. There was me, and I was focused on the people end of the business. And then there was, I brought on John Fisher, who was very focused on markets. And then I brought on Steve Jurvetson, he was very focused on technology. And so we kind of all added something to the table. And then we continued to add. Jen Fonstad was very interested in medicine. What I looked at was, when it was just me, it was a point. And then it was a line when there were two of us. And then it was a triangle when there were three of us. And then it was a trapezoidal something or other. And it became an n-gon. And you know, in multi dimensions, because we added people who could make a major impact on our world, on our business. Okay, so that's how I hire inside. Outside, what do I look for in an entrepreneur? I look for somebody who, this is where their life was always headed. It's very natural. It's amazing, during the dot-com boom, I met a true great rocket scientist. And he came to me with hotels.com. And I said, it just doesn't make sense. You've spent your entire career designing rockets, and now, just because there's this dot-com boom, you're doing hotels.com? This doesn't make any sense at all. But if he had come to me with a rocketry deal, I probably would have done it. So you have to have this passion for that one thing that you're doing, that one thing that makes all the difference. And those are the people that we love to back. So, and then we back them, and we lose way more than half the time. Just, oh, oops, we lost that money. Oops, lost that money. Oops, lost that money. Every once in a while we have one that you guys want to buy, or could go public, or now you can take them XPO, which is like a private IPO. And so we are looking for those outliers, because we really need one big one to make up for all those mistakes we make. We also look for somebody who can fail and fail and fail and fail and fail and still stand up.
Can you share some insight on why things fail consistently and what you've learned out of it?
It's a great question. Because we have so many failures. I know so much more about that than I do success. It's unbelievable. Okay, we've had, young couple in love but not married, going after something that they're both excited about, and then when things get rough, they break up, and then they're still in the company, and it blows up. Two people at the top, and they are kind of second guessing each other. Three kind of works, two doesn't. Three kind of works because there's always a tie break, but two doesn't work. I think it's confidence in the other people in your team to do things that you know you don't know how to do. So like the chief technology guy shouldn't really tread on the CEO's turf, but he can advise, and the CEO shouldn't really tread on the turf of the CTO. And I can see that in the meetings, where they fight over each other, they talk over each other, they interrupt each other. I can kind of get that that's happening. But then the other things that happen are we have lost money. Even though I'm telling you guys, go out there 5, 10, 15 years, we've lost money on being too early, because we're too into science and we just love it, and so we've been too early. And then we've made big mistakes where there was a big winner, like, there's Facebook, and we missed it. We got outbid for Facebook, and we're all crying about it. And we're saying, oh, let's bid on another one like that. It's already too late. There's already one, and it's already winning. So So we make a lot of mistakes that way. Other failures inside the company, it's usually that the company doesn't claim ownership. Everyone in the company has to say, I am an owner of this company and I have to make this work. Greatest thing that ever happened was, I don't know whether was it HP? I don't know, whoever was the first one who decided they were going to give all their employees stock options. Brilliant. Now everybody's an owner. Once everybody's an owner, you've got your whole team saying, wait, I can improve this. How do I improve this? So, yeah, lots of ways to fail. And success is a lot of hard work and a lot of luck.
Let me ask add one more question to his question. I was in a public forum where your dad was speaking, Bill Draper, right? And they asked him similar question. Tell me what are the things you have learned and what not to do. And he went over the laundry list. And one of the laundry list was, don't hire your son to work for you.
Well, he didn't. He didn't. He sort of sent me off on my own path. And off I went. And that is very funny. So anyway, I'm glad he didn't, because it all worked out very well. Because at the time, when I was getting into my career, he was at the UNDP. That wouldn't have worked out very well for me at all. Well, it might have. It might have been fun.
So building on this lessons learned failure type theme.
Oh, and I've got to push my dad's book. If you really want to learn about our business, and you want to learn about, and it's something you should give to your kids, because it's a life lesson thing, go get The Startup Game on Amazon. My dad wrote it, and he really knows it because he lived it. And it's, it's not some theoretical guy. It's a guy who actually lived it, and and you get a lot of good life lessons from it. So I recommend you pick it up.
Good, I'll check that. So from your perspective, what's good and bad about university incubators, and maybe even compare them to national incubators?
Oh, that's great. Great question. Okay. University incubators, national incubators, what's good and bad about them? I'll tell you what is very interesting is they've got a lot of competition now. I have just been, in the last week, I've been to the Y Combinator, to the Angel Com, and what is happening is there are a lot of, for you guys, potential R&D opportunities watching these guys create their businesses. And so incubators are happening in all forms and sizes all over, and it's sort of a cool thing to do now. So it's really starting to spread to the masses, which may mean that the quality is going to go down. But the great thing about the national incubators is that there is research money that goes into places that might not be economic. The downside is that those places might have appeal for the government, but no appeal for the market. And the government is creeping into our lives more and more, but still the market for the private sector is much better and bigger. And so that's the downside, I think, in the government one. In the universities, I think they're great as long as their thinking is very much the way Stanford's thinking is. Stanford's thinking is, we are here to encourage you students to go out there and prosper. And hopefully then you'll give back to the university later, knowing that we've given you all of this research and all of these patents and all of whatever. Go forth and multiply and then send some of it back to us. I think that's a much better model than the one who says to the student, I own you. You know, I want a piece of you before you go off and do something with this technology. I also think ideas should spread fast. I think people should give up their ideas. Because what will happen is, I know that if I tell an idea to my wife, the way I spoke it and thought it, and the way she received it are two entirely different things. And so she'll take that idea and do something entirely different with it. So spreading ideas is, I think, a very good thing. And then you get into a little bit of a debate about the patent office and how important is it to patent things. Most of my startups patent just to defend themselves, but never to attack. And I think that's probably a better attitude. Thank you very much. This is great fun.